friends, welcome to our YouTube channel by Gyan Manjari Modern School. Our subject is Science for Standard 9th. And our current chapter is chapter number 2. Is matter around us pure? In this chapter, in the previous session, we have discussed the method of separation. That is picking, hand picking, then distillation, fractional distillation, chromatography, and evaporation. So many methods, we have discussed all the methods. So now our today's point is physical change and what is chemical change. Now to learn this point, what is physical change, what is chemical change, before that we have to learn what are called physical properties of metal and what are the chemical properties of metal. So while looking at the metal, if we say anything, so these are called generally the physical properties. Here I have wrote the list, means the color, hardness, rigidity, it is rigid or means it is soft or rigid, fluidity, can it flow, density means mass per volume, melting point, boiling point, interconversion of state means from solid it can be converted into liquid, from liquid again solid. So it is called interconversion of state. All these properties are called physical properties of any matter. Okay students, so which are physical changes? If there is a change in any of this physical property is called physical change. If color changes, if the state changes, boiling point, melting point, these can't be changed, but we can read from this, we can say it is the boiling point of particular solid or liquid. So these are the physical properties. So while the physical change, there is no any change in its constituents, means if it is in the H2O forms, it remains in H2O, means there is a 2 hydrogen atom, 1 oxygen atom remains as it is. There is no any change in its constitution, is called physical change, and no new substance is formed. Suppose in a beaker we take some of the sand and some iron filings, iron particles. When we mix it, they won't mix with each other. We can easily separate them by the magnetic separation. So this is not the mixture is formed. This is mixture is formed, not the compound is formed. No new substance is formed. And in this way, suppose I will give you one example of physical change. Suppose water, when we give heat to it, it converted into the vapors, and when we cool the vapor again in the liquid, when we cool the liquid in the ice form. So here the conversion of state is there, but in its constitution there is no any change. So components remains same. This is called physical change. Only its outlook can be changed, its state can be changed. So these are the physical change. So here these are the physical properties and physical change. And chemical change. When there is a change in its components, number of atoms, and when two substances combine to form a new substance, and we can't get the original substance one again by the simple physical processes, this is called chemical change. Students, take out page number 24 of your textbook. All this written in your textbook color, hardness, rigidity, fluidity, density, melting point, boiling point, and the interconversion of states are called physical change, because there is no any change in its components, in its chemical nature. Okay students, now again see here, chemical change. Underline this, chemical change brings the change in the chemical properties in the of a matter, and we get new substance. Here what is chemical change? When there is a change in its chemical property, it's called chemical change. In physical change, there is no any change in chemical properties, but just change in its physical property. No new substance is formed. Now one more point student, the chemical change is irreversible. Again we can't get this. And the physical change is reversible. Once the ice is formed from water, again we can get easily the ice when we cool it. But once, suppose the fruit ripes, if the mango ripes, then again we can't get the raw mango. Suppose from the flour we prepare a puri, so again we can't get the flour. So these type of changes are called chemical changes. They are irreversible. Meaning of irreversible means again we can't get the original substance easily. It may get in some cases by some chemical processes, but generally we can't get the original substances are called chemical change. So there are the few points of difference students in the chemical change and physical change. During this change, no new substance is formed. And here you have to write the full sentence. I am writing here only new substance is formed. Okay. Now the second point. These are reversible. Means again we get the original substances, and these are irreversible change. Students, you have to write the full statement here. I have just wrote the points. Number 3, the properties of constituents are retained. Do not retained. Okay students, I will again explain by one very interesting example. Properties of constituent retained. There is no any change in its property. Very well known example, very simple example. Again we take the example of water. If water is converted into ice or water is converted into vapor, so it is a physical change. In its property or constituents there is no any change. Water can extinguish the fire, so if we spray the steam, then it cools, and also it can extinguish the fire. Also ice can extinguish the fire. And H2O remains H2O, no any change, no new substance is formed. So no new substance is formed, and again it is reversible. But students, here new substance is formed. Now suppose we take the example of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen plus oxygen, we get water. Students, you will learn its symbols and all this in the next chapter. New substance, so suppose we are taking the example of hydrogen and oxygen. New substance is formed, water. Okay. Now here, as we see the property, new substance is formed. Also these two are in gaseous form, which we are getting in the liquid form. Now irreversible, as we get water. So again from this we can get hydrogen, oxygen, but by not a simple way. It is the method is called electrolysis. You will learn about that in the next chapters. So by simple way we can't get hydrogen and oxygen again. So it is irreversible change. Generally we can say here, you write here generally. Generally it is irreversible change. And properties do not retain. Now see, hydrogen is a explosive gas. Oxygen is a supporter of combustion. It is combustible gas. When, so students, as you know, there are the bombs of hydrogen. Hydrogen is the best fuel. It's very light in weight. Its calorific value is also very high. But the hydrogen is combustible. Suppose it comes in the contact with fire, it burns with a popping sound if it is big. So it burns with a dhadaka badaka. So hydrogen is combustible gas. Oxygen, supporter of combustion. Without oxygen nothing can burn. So these are the two properties of oxygen and hydrogen. But when water is formed from it, we know water is fire extinguisher. So here the properties are not retained, they change their property. Property of hydrogen is different. It is explosive, combustible gas. Oxygen, supporter of combustion. But they mix with in a definite proportion. Then water form and property totally change. The property of water is which extinguishes the fire, as we know. So these are the chemical change, physical change and chemical change. These are the different. Students, note down this. Okay. Now students, take out page number 24 only. Questions are given. Pick a pencil in your hand. We will discuss. Classify the following as chemical or physical change. So number 1, cutting of trees is physical change because due to the cutting, no constituent of that wood can be changed. It is just the physical change. Melting of butter in a pan. In a pan we put a butter and we heat it. So it melts. But again we freeze it, again it comes in the solid form. So it is called physical change. Rusting of almirah means rusting of cupboard made up of iron. So rusting is a chemical change because once it gets rusted, we can't get iron from it again. Next, boiling of water to form a steam, as we have discussed so many times, it is physical. Passing electric current through water, and water break down into hydrogen and oxygen. Here I rubbed it. From water, if we want again hydrogen and oxygen, we just pass electric current through it. So we on anode we get oxygen, on cathode we get hydrogen. So it is a chemical change, students. Next, dissolving common salt in water, physical change. So if common salt in water, so it is salty water. When we put it in sunlight, so water get evaporated, and what remains in the saucer is just the salt. Burning of paper and wood, chemical change, because once the paper get burns, then we can't get paper again from this ash. So it is chemical change. So this is the classification. It can be asked in the exam, classify the following in the chemical or so many examples. You can also give ripening of food is the example of a chemical. Also students, you learn and observe and think over it. It is a chemical change or it is the physical change. So this is about the physical change and chemical change. Just here noted down these, students. Students, according to the chemistry, meaning of pure substance is different than according to our everyday life. This point we have discussed in the starting of this chapter. Now, what are the pure substances according to the chemistry? According to the chemistry, the pure substances are divided into two groups, elements and compounds, according to their chemical composition. Okay students, it is given on the page number 25. On the basis of chemical composition, substances can be classified either as elements or compounds. Now, what are elements? Elements are the substance where there is no any other substance is added to in it. Not a single atom of any other element is added in that substance is called element. And compound, when two or more elements combine to form a new compound, but here the proportion is fixed. Suppose we take the example of water. So molecular formula of water is H2O. So 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. No any other substance is added, sirf hydrogen and oxygen. So it is called molecule of when two or more elements combine to form a one compound, it is called molecule. Now atoms, 2 atoms of hydrogen, when there is only just hydrogen is there, we can say atom. When oxygen is there, 1 atom of oxygen. But when 2 atoms of hydrogen combines with 1 atom of oxygen, 1 molecule of water is formed. So students, here we are discussing about the elements. Afterwards we will discuss about the compounds and also the mixture. Now what are compounds? What are elements? Elements are there which are in a pure form. About more than 100. It is given student here. This is very informative. More than 100. About 118 elements are discovered till today. In that 95 elements are in a solid, 11 are in a gaseous state and 2 are in a liquid form. So this about this can be asked in FB or MCQ like that. You should know this information. 2 elements are in liquid, which are the mercury, which we use in thermometer, and also the bromine. Other elements are in solid, or in gaseous form. Now these elements are not divided in the form of solid, liquid or gases, but these elements are divided in three types: metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now what are out of these 118 metals, which are considered as metals, which are considered as non-metal and which are considered as a metalloids? Students, before that we will see the contribution of different scientists. First of all, Robert Boyle used this term element first of all in the year 1661, but he not gave the definition of element. But after that, Lavoisier, he was a French scientist, he established the definition of elements. He used the word, he gave the concept. Who? Robert Boyle. Give the concept of element, but definition was given by Lavoisier. So you should know about the scientists, the great contribution of the scientists in our chapter, this chapter. So first we will see the properties of metal, then properties of non-metal. Students, I have just listed properties of metals. Luster. What is the meaning of luster? If it is a pure, then the surface of any metal is shining. Suppose gold ornaments when they are very new, so it shines. Any statue of is made up of a silver, so it shines. So it is the basic property of metals, students. The luster means shining. They are maybe in the silvery grey color or golden yellow color. Conductor of electricity and heat. It passes the electricity from it and also passes the heat from it. Electricity passes. We are having the common example, lighting means the wire in our houses are there. It is made up of a copper, so it passes the electricity, therefore we get the electricity and also we get the light and we can on the fans, and so many appliances work on electricity. Then ductile and malleable. What is the meaning of ductile? Ductile means thin wire. Can be drawn from it. Students, gold is highest ductile metal. Very thin wire like a thread can drawn from it, and from this embroidery can be done. So it is very ductile, means the meaning is thin wire can be drawn from it. Malleable. Malleability is another property of metal. So when we hammer it, it is converted into thin sheet. Students, you haven't see the sweets. There is a shining layer on the sweets, kaju katri or whatever it may be. So this layer is of silver, but when the silver is hammered, it is converted into very thin sheet. Suppose it is non-metal, it will break down, but this won't be break down. Very thin layer can be prepared by hammering. This property of metal is called malleable or malleability. And sonorous. Sonorous means a sound creates when metal strike with metal. Bell in our school forms a sonorous sound, especially when the bell is of the leaving the school. So it forms a sonorous sound. When metal strike with metal, it forms a sonorous sound. So these are the properties of metal, students. These are listed in your textbook. So no need of writing now. Just read it and learn it. Also given the properties of non-metal. They display a variety of colors. Number 2, they are poor conductor of heat and electricity is given here, students. They are not lustrous, not having the shining surface. not sonorous, not malleable and not ductile. All the opposite property of metals are having the non-metals. Okay students, example of non-metals are hydrogen is a gas, so non-metal. Hydrogen, oxygen, iodine, carbon, bromine, then chlorine, phosphorus, sulfur are non-metals, and the metals as you know, copper, gold, silver, then iron, sodium, potassium, lithium, boron, cobalt, so many 95 about metals are there. So these are the properties of metal and non-metals. Students, in the next lecture we will learn the properties of also, we will discuss about metalloids and the compounds, means in the pure substance. Okay, so now time for homework students. These are very easy things students, nothing is hard here, just take interest and not just write but learn everything. Write the difference, physical change, and chemical change. Also write 2 examples of each. And number 2, write properties of metals and non-metals. We can say physical properties. These are the physical properties. You know what are the physical properties. So this is for homework for today students. Okay, bye, take care, we will meet in the next session.